The sport that was once known as America's pastime is now struggling to attract new viewers. The World Series, baseball's biggest set of games, has been declining in viewership ever since the 1970s. Today's World Series is now getting only less than 30% of the views it was getting back in the 70s. And this downtrend isn't expected to change anytime soon. That's because baseball has been struggling to attract new, young viewers. 50% of baseball fans nowadays are 50 years old or older. And this failure to attract young fans has affected the sport in more than just the professional level. There are now a decrease in the number of little leagues across the United States. In some cases, this has even forced towns to pair up with one another just to field a single team. Now, I know these are difficult truths to swallow. Baseball is a great sport with a rich, enduring legacy. But if baseball fans want to look toward a brighter future and not just back at a glorious past, then we need to accept these difficult truths so that we can understand why the sport's struggling and how we can change that. So the main reason that baseball is struggling is because it's boring. And one of the main reasons it's so boring is the fact that the games are so dull and have so little action in them. Now, CBS ran a test on 3 different baseball games where they timed the amount of action, things like hitting, pitching, fielding, that takes place in a game. Their tests came back with only 18 minutes of action per game. That's right, only 18 minutes of action. The other 162 minutes consisted of commercial breaks and players just sitting around waiting for something to happen. And it's not just the individual games that are boring, it's the entire season. There are 162 games in a season, which means that one game has virtually no effect on the season whatsoever. Why would fans go watch a game that has no perceivable effect on the season? Suffice to say, baseball needs to find a way to add excitement back to the season, back into the games, if it wishes to attract viewers back to the sport. So how can we liven up the sport? Well, we can make the season more exciting if we make it shorter, and if we make each game more impactful. Baseball should have 20 5-game series with a winner-take-all format like they have in the playoffs. This would ensure that every series, and therefore every game, has a major impact on the season. How could we improve maybe a single game, however? Well, a game would be more interesting if there was more hits, if there was more scoring, and if every position on the field was important. Now, there are 3 things you can do to accomplish this. First, move the pitcher's mound back further from home plate. This will give players a longer time to react to the ball so they can get more hits. Secondly, have fewer but longer innings in the game so that once players get on base, they actually have a chance to score. Finally, make the field larger. Doing so will increase the importance of fielders. Now, we all know that there are 3 aspects to baseball. There's hitting, there's pitching, and there's fielding. However, right now, teams only really put importance on pitchers and hitters because their contributions can actually have a major effect on a team's season. The way fields are set up right now limit the contributions that fielders can make and their effect on a game. Enlarging the field will make it more important for teams to have skilled fielders who can prevent the other team from scoring. So I ask you, do you want to see the sport of baseball revived? Do you want to see the statistics reversed and a declining fan base turn into a growing fan base? Do you you want to put baseball back into the hearts and minds of kids all across America? Do you want to turn your fan base from one that is old and uninterested back to one that is diverse and enthusiastic? Well, if so, then make the adjustments that I've suggested, and we can bring baseball back to its former glory.